Okay, so hi and welcome everyone in today's session. And today I am gonna complete the very last topic of this project, HR project, and that is selection process, right? So I'll be giving you a brief detail and I'll make you understand how the term selection process is related to job satisfaction and recruitment, right? So moving ahead with the topic, selection process. Let's get into the term selection process. Fine. So let's understand what is this term saying? What is selection process? What are the consequences and things that we take care during the term recruitment? I have already explained you. I have given you a brief description. Now I'll be helping you with the term selection process, right? So now let's understand the term selection process. Now basically, if you are acquainted with the term recruitment, so I have given you a very clear picture what does recruitment means and who is responsible for the term recruitment. So now when we talk about recruitment, then there are certain procedures which is what we call selection procedure or selection process, that is again directly responsible for the recruitment purpose. Now what is selection process doing, right? So every organization has their own set of rules, right? If you are recruiting somebody in an organization for certain responsibilities or any designation or post, right, then we do recruit them with certain procedures that we follow as per our company norms, right? Because every company has its own norm, has its own procedures to move ahead during recruitment selection process. So what are those things? So selection is something which is being carried out in terms of norms, in terms of regulations, right? So every company tries to make their own set of rules. They are having some own norms and some ethics that they follow on regular basis, every year basis, yearly basis, or whenever they go for recruitment. Then there are certain terms that they do follow. Like there are some companies who follow 4 to 5 steps. Step number one will be those who are interested, they need to submit their details, the CV or the resume to the responded mail ID. Then those people, those company people, the HR team will visit to your college, to the prospective college, I mean, and then there will be a kind of written round. Then there will be a kind of technical written round. Then there will be a round of group discussion, that is GD round. Then you will be facing some, instant round, maybe anything. It can be kind of challenge round or impression round where you have to perform some instant activities, maybe anything. And then the final PI round, and then you get an appointment letter. And there are some companies who directly ask you for resume. They qualify you on the basis of your details that you have submitted, on the basis of your certain things like biodata and whatever the details you have submitted to the company's mail ID. Then they'll come to your college, to the respective college. They may ask you to sit for aptitude round and then directly for PI round, or maybe then aptitude, then some English communication round skills, and then the PI round. So there are certain factors that matters. So these are the set of things, regulations and rules that every company makes, right? Every organization follows, and accordingly they proceed for the recruitment. This is what selection procedure matters. So I have already mentioned that it varies from different company to company, right? And even if there are certain, different types of organizations within a company, there are subdivisions of organizations. Like I would like to mention you with some examples. Like if we talk about engineering colleges, right? So engineering is not just a particular degree. Engineering is also having some certain sub degrees. Like we have certain backgrounds of branches. You are an engineer from which background? Computer science background, electronics and communication, only pure electrical and electronics, or instrumentation, or mechanical, or civil, or chemical. So there are certain different kinds of backgrounds in engineering. Now what happens? There are, okay, so if one company is coming for CSE, then heart to heart they'll be hiring the student of ECE and IT people and double and triple E. But when it comes to mechanical, there are certain other companies based on mechanical background. So every company comes with its own set of rules. So similarly, the complete organization also deals in the same way. They have different organization. For example, we have TCS, right? We have Tata. So Tata is not only TCS. We have so many backgrounds of Tata company, right? We have so many associates. So when it comes to Tisco, we they follow different norms, different regulations are there for the selection procedure. When we talk about IT, that is TCS, right? Then they have certain different norms. So within an organization, when there is subdivision of certain things, then there what comes is we have certain norms within an organization. That is what we call selection procedures. Varies from industry to industry, company to company, and sometimes it also varies from one department to another department in the same organization or same company. So this is what happens when it comes to selection procedure. So what are the general terms, when we come to the term selection procedure? So what are the general terms that is being carried out? We need to look ahead with that, right? So let's see that. What is that? Now, if you look carefully, I have not made the complete tabulation, but I have mentioned the key points, right? What does selection procedure starts with and where does it ends? So we have some technical words for those and we'll be moving ahead. So when you are into the selection procedure, then step one arises with preliminary interview. Now, what is preliminary interview? The basic interview where we try to find out those applicants who are most unfit for that particular recruitment procedure, and then we make them out of the entire selection process. So it has two things to be done in preliminary interview. Number one, we find out the top, it depends upon again from different organization. They want top 50 to move ahead or top 100 or how many out of, the number of candidates who have sit for that interview. So preliminary interview decides two things. How many are going ahead and how many will remain there itself. So preliminary interview only focuses on number of candidates who is going to pass the first stage and will enter into the second stage. They focus on this much only. Now when it's done, then we move ahead with applicants and screening. Means the curriculum vitae that you have submitted to the company, right, through the mail ID or whatever the medium they have asked to submit you for, through, right? Then they will be coming through the details. They'll go through the details that you have submitted. That is what you have submitted to them, right? Before the interview, before the preliminary interview. That is the thing that you have mailed them officially. So those who are selected, their application has been received, right? And now only those applications screening will take place. Now what does screening means? Screening means they will go in detail about whatever the requirements they want, and are you satisfying them further with that procedure. Sometimes what happens, many students lag in making that particular CV or that is a resume of their own. So most of the companies give you opportunity, right, to come ahead even if your resume is not satisfying, because they wanted to know like what is your reality other than this resume, right? Because sometimes students do put complete correct amount amount of information in the curriculum vitae, and sometimes they give some wrong false information to impress the HR team or the company who is coming to recruit, right? The people who are going to interview them. So this is a wrong one. That's why screening takes place to find out all, at least almost the correct one. And those who are, those applicants which are in doubt, they are also being somehow, tested further. And that is what we call the next step is employment test. Now, if the student has given correct details, then he or she must be, highly acknowledged with the details that he or she has given. Then it comes to employment test. Means there are, I already mentioned you that there are certain tests that takes place. First is technical test. Maybe, if the company is based on software, then they do focus more on aptitude, then they focus more on programming based test. They'll judge you on technical test mostly, right? They'll check your smartness in aptitude test, and then they will come through your kind of communication skill test through either test, normal written test, or maybe a group discussion round, or directly into the PI round, right? The entire HR team will be there to judge you. So this is what happens in employment test, right? Now, there are certain things that you need to understand while you'll be working on this project. If you are trying to find out the loopholes behind selection procedure, so I mentioned a very smart point that while the screening is being done of the applicants which has been received, so most of the companies try to give opportunities to all the people who have cleared the preliminary round. They don't directly judge students based on the screening, done by the entire HR team, because sometimes we fail to find the the shining stars that can be benefited for a company. So how this particular thing can be improved, how a company should change, I mean, what shall be the things that should be modified, not changed actually, what are the things that has to be changed while recruitment process or selection process. So this is what you have to find out while you're working on a project, right? Now, then we have employment test, reject, rejection, and selection. So if you are sitting for an employment test, so either you will be selected or rejected. There's no other option in between, right? Because whatever you will write, if it is up to mark, then you will definitely be selected. But if you are in case not writing, you're not giving the proper relevant answers, if you're bluffing, kind of bluff you're doing in the paper, then you might face issues, right? And if you are rejected, then there's no other option. You are not going to move ahead. And if you're selected, then you'll go to the second, fourth round, that is interview round, right? The next procedure. And what's that? What happens there? So if the company has tested you on the basis of written test, based on aptitude, programming, communication, yeah, that's good. That's awesome. But if you are not selected in the last procedure, then you won't be a good at interview. And now if you have cleared the employment round and you're into the interview round, and all the remaining procedures has been done very smoothly, then in interview we're going to be asked the very general basic questions to judge your attitude and healthy state, and of course mentality, how broad thinking, how broad minded thinking ability you're having, right? So these are the things that generally takes place during interview. The very general and basic questions to judge your ability, how you will be handling clients, or the part of work it has been given to you to handle ahead. So these are the things that takes place. And if you clear the selection procedure, right? If you clear the selection procedure, then you will be getting an appointment letter, right? Which will include certain data, all the necessary data like your annual package, your joining date, your further documents that the company requirements, what are the things that you need to submit, right? And etc. Now, we again really need to understand that what is the importance of this selection process, how this helps an organization to choose the right candidate, why it is mandatory to proceed, and plan the selection procedure as per the requirement. So the very first point is proper selection and placement of employees lead to growth and development of the company. Yes, definitely. If your selection procedure was so awesome that you found the correct people, the correct candidate in your company, in your organization, then this is going to help you only for the growth and development of your company, right? This is going to help you definitely. If the person is fruitful for your company, then we have industrial accidents will drastically reduce in numbers when the right technical staff is employed. Yes, yes, yes. Now, very important point, if you look ahead to this point, right, to these terms, the second point, and if we see around, like in the latest days, also in the past few days, we have been finding so many incidents that is taking place, right, in so many industries, especially those technical, I mean technical in the sense those industrial based places, the chemical industries, or kind of industries where some hardware kind of work is going on, means the core companies based on industry land, they need highly skilled and qualified technical people over there to handle the entire functioning, the mechanism of the machines, and certain issues that they face on regular basis. So if you find the right candidate, then you don't have to hire lot many people. If even if there are less number of people, but they are satisfying not only with theoretical knowledge but with practical knowledge in priority, then there will be reduction in the accidents that takes place on regular basis in different industries. And then we have, when people get jobs, they are good at, okay, they are good at, means again the term here comes is job satisfaction. If somebody is getting job as per his or her satisfaction, then what happens? It creates a sense of satisfaction with the time with them, and thus their work efficiency and quality starts improving. Definitely, if there is a requirement of a team member in management team, a team leader in a management team based project. So if you find some IT people to handle the management team, will it be possible to find kind of interest, and will there be efficiency in the work? Will you be able to find kind of improvement in the project development or in the team efficiency? No, it won't be possible. If you make it a burden on somebody who is not interested to find hope and interest in that particular thing or kind of work or responsibility that has been assigned to him or her, then it would be a kind of burden only. So job satisfaction again matters, and this can only be done through selection procedure. Now the last point is, the hiring of talented and skilled employees results in the swift achievement of company goals. Yes, if you are hiring a talented and skilled employee, then your achievement will double. The goals of your company will be achieved. You will get to know a better vision. You will find a better ambition of your company, of yourself. You will get to know so many new and innovative things, and you will find a better vision, a better medium, a better mode to move on, move ahead. This is what happens if your selection procedure is perfect, if your set of norms, if your set of rules and regulations are highly impressive. So this is what entire selection, right? This was the entire selection procedure that you have to think of, you have to understand. Now, when you will be working on this project, right? And even if you're working, when you need to take care of the certain things, you have to find the loopholes, you have to go in the depth of the terms. What shall we do to modify and bring a better implementations in selection procedure, recruitment, and job satisfaction? So whatever the knowledge I have given you all till now, try to go through the depth of all this, and you will definitely find something good being the student of management. So thank you so much. I'll end my video here itself, right, with the term that I have to explain. If you have any doubt, okay, so you can let me know in the comment box or chat box right now itself, or anytime when you are in doubt. I'll be surely helping you out with your queries. Thank you so much.